It's about 3 minutes till showtime, and I'm opening a little early because I want to ask a question. If we had the frequencies for coronavirus that supports breathing and lungs, how do you propose we get it to the public? We can't announce it directly. You'd see all these articles out here about the government closing everybody down, that it was in the latest Mike Adams newsletter. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Michael J. Fox. Oh, come on. Is it under Adams? Two-day class. Let me see if I can find Mike Adams. Mike Adams has a bit of influence over a lot of people. Let's see if I can find his file. And they believe in him because he puts his stuff out and he backs it up. But he just sent an article, and I just filed it, and I shouldn't have. But it says the government is coming down hard on anyone, any doctor, any organization who says they have any cure or support for coronavirus. Here it is, tyrannical governments. Okay, I'm going to have to stop share and come back and share again. I'm going to try to remember where this is. Do you guys see the Mike Adams article? The tyrannical agencies in the U.S. government are now coordinating their raids to intimidate and destroy doctors, naturopaths, even pastors who are promoting nutrition and alternative health treatments for COVID-19. The goal of the tyranny is to eliminate any competition that might threaten the monopoly. Pretty powerful stuff. Okay, let's go back to the beginning here. Share. Screen 1. Okay, do you see this idea that we've put up, that whoever controls this technology is going to control the quality of life? You'll have the tools, and we have a 2-day free class coming up where we are going to give you software for nutrition and software for muscles. Those are the two easiest ones to use and set you up for all the rest of them. And I put on there on our planet and beyond because we have the numbers for space travel to keep the body's muscles and bones from deteriorating. And that is an incredibly large statement, but we have already done it. We just can't get it out there. I am not a marketer, and I believe with this technology I've created something that is way bigger than me. My baby has outgrown me. So we have this idea, and I wanted to know, you want to know how to mute? You want to mute. Who is this? Mary L.M. Mary, I think you're already muted. Are people hearing me? Does nobody have... Great, Curtis, thank you. Michael can hear me. Great. Okay, what we want to do is to create a series of courses. Like this one, we just give you a little smattering of what arthritis is from, how to deal with it, how to eat maybe, and it's all from the literature. How would you like to have a series of courses where we provide the software like Arthritis, or provide it on the portal for a few days so you can learn to use it, so that you can have classes in your community. You can teach people to do this, and we can also set up bioacoustic centers everywhere so people have an option. People are not going to change until they have an option, a different opportunity to make this happen. So we would do one on, well, if you use it on the portal, you can use it on the Mac. The portal uses every platform. So if we do this class, I'm teaching it, we're providing the software. We also want it to be able to be used when the internet goes down and when electricity goes down. So we're looking for those controls right now. But what do you think? We train a group of people on stem cells, on coronavirus, on Down syndrome, on eye watcher, on arthritis. Oh, good grief, you're stranded in Colombia. Well, you could use the portal if you're stranded in Colombia. So Kristen says yes. If you are interested, we'll put those courses together. Things like fibromyalgia, pain. Give us some suggestions of what classes you want to see and to learn to interpret. We need to learn to use the buttons of what we should punch next to get our report, but we also need to interpret those reports and what's happening. Like this evening, we're going to show you what nutrients and biochemicals interfere and cause arthritis. Okay, this is new in our series. It's about exploring math as medicine, and we're doing it very quickly, like we just did autism metabolites. We just did one on gravity and iron. So if you want those expanded courses and software, let's put it together for everybody. We've made arrangements. We can do hundreds of people at a time. We'll record it. You can play it again in your community. You can put it together for a class in your community and earn your right to go to earn your money to go to advanced classes. So exploring math as medicine. Not only we're using frequencies, but we're also using specific formulas for your body to have a response. So we are doing this because we think it's our right to deal with our own health. We don't need rationed pills. We can do it with sound now. We don't need somebody telling us we can't have this kind of service. You got a broken arm, we have the frequencies for that, and we've used it for years. This is a form of evidentiary medicine. It doesn't fit into conventional medicine because we also have predictive medicine, things we can look at beyond the moment, see what's weak in the body, and see if we can provide the solutions with sound. So that's what we want to do tonight with arthritis. I'm Sherry Edwards. I'm your host. This is our center in Ohio. We are in the midst of setting up a center in Utah. Some people have donated some information in space, so we may all move there. We're being sponsored this evening by the soundhealthportal.com. And a couple of you have written to me today, I recognize your name, and you want to know where to go to look at that portal. Let me find it here. So that you can go to the home page, go to services, go to Corona Conflicts, and this is where you can get information, but it's outdated already. We now are looking not at Corona superbug, because there's going to be more. We're looking at how we can protect the cell from being vulnerable to any pathogen. And so we've done one class on that. We'll be doing more. So when you come to our shows, then we put you on our list of... I bet you guys did not see this. Stop share. Screen share. Go back. This is the portal, and this is our sponsor tonight, soundhealthportal.com, where you can go and get your nano voice done, and we'll be showing you some of that this evening. That's absolutely free to go do that. So let's go back and share. Okay, so our sponsor, soundhealthportal.com, lots of stuff there, and you can use this with your clients. You sign up for a nutritional evaluation. That's an easy one. You do your own every day. You charge your person down the hall $20, $30, $50 to do theirs online for them. You give them a report so that everybody can know what they need by way of food and nutrition, and it's all done without them being in your presence. We will do a course just about marketing. I'll send all of you who are on the show with us tonight how to apply for those classes. Let me know which ones you want. Oxalates are going to come in Krebs cycle, so we could look at those. So what we do at the center, or even online, is stick a microphone in front of your face, take a 30-second sample. This can all be done on the portal as long as you have the correct microphone. We have been ordering so many microphones that Amazon is out. We've had to try to find other places, and we think we found a distributor that will handle this so that we can get more mics. A few years ago, we had a mic created, a pencil mic, an MM100. We were going to be able to get it out to people for about $20. And the corporation that we had built it took it away from us and said they're not selling us to it anymore unless we pay them $147 a piece. So we told them they could stick it up their nose. But we may have to go back and get that again, or have another company make the mics we need. Because if it's the wrong mic, it's garbage in. And so what we say on our end is garbage. It isn't accurate. So that's the biggest thing we're trying to face right now, is that proper microphone. We know that at the center, in the last 30 years we've done, that bioacoustically speaking, people with similar issues produce similar vocal biomarkers. We can talk about that on the portal also. But the issue here is not only the frequency, but it must be the appropriate formulation of the frequency. And that's where people are putting out stuff, but they aren't doing it correctly, and it's going to give the rest of us a bad name. We need to get rid of those people who are just out there to shrink your pocketbook. One of the reasons people, we actually had a person say, I'd like a scholarship to your class. It's way too expensive. Well, free. It's free. And we give you softwares worth over $300. We do require a registration, and that's because 50 people sign up and 5 show up. And we just want to make sure that you're going to show up and be there and not push other people out. We have thousands of templates. We just developed one and added to it incontinence, gravity. I try to work on it every week and see what's going on. We think everybody ought to have access to the portal for their own health. Come home at night, okay, what nutrients do I need? Oh, vitamin E, let's have some fish. That's the way it ought to be, because with all the people out there trying to sell you something, they're not telling you the truth. And I'm watching it. The people who are selling you gold are hedging. They're not telling you the truth. And we can train you to look at any commercial or person in the family or politician and see what's really going on. You need the truth to make good decisions. We know that the state of your health can be found in the sound of your voice. Tonight we're going to do frequency domain, which is the yellow jumpy up and down. I'm going to show you a little bit about nano voice, which is all these different colored stripes at the bottom. We've been doing this for years. We've been helping people for years, and we're doing a good job. A proof is in what happens. One of the reasons they wouldn't accept our patent applications and whatever is we couldn't explain what we're doing. We couldn't explain how the body heals itself using frequency. We can only say this is much like creativity. We can only look at the outcomes. We don't know how creativity happens. We just know that it does. So this evening we're going to be talking about arthritis pain. Most of you have received this flyer about what it is and what we're going to do with it. If we have time, at the end, if anybody has arthritis, please raise your hand or indicate to me some way. Can I center the PowerPoint? I don't think I know how to do that. Can somebody tell me how to do it? I can put the other information up here. We can go to Escape and put this over here. Does that center it anymore? The bottom third's cut off. Now it's off the screen. Off which screen? Stop share. Share. Now is it working? Can you see it now? Just move the whole thing. Which direction? This way? Yes, that works. Okay. Guess we'll just see what happens here. So we're using arthritis. It's one of the classes that we want to give you because it's a class about dirty air and not being able to get rid of trash. So, what's arthritis caused by? Lack of respiration at a cellular level. By the way, that's one of the things that's causing corona. Reactions to inflammations. Yes, the body's polluted. The air's polluted. Inappropriate calcium metabolism. That's an easy fix. Metabolism faults caused by aspartame. You'll see a whole great big list. Aspartame messes up your glycine and your glutamate that helps the body use sulfur and the detox. Lack of pH imbalance, food related. Lack of energy methylation. Everything we're going to tell you is on a Bioacoustic Basics textbook. There are 3 versions of it. A 60-page, about 100-page, and about 140 pages. You can download this one from soundhealthoptions.com. You can also download the tutorials, and this is on our catalog, and I will give you the link to the catalog when we get to it. But you can find it on Sound Health Options. We also have a video that shows you the doctors that are working with us. We're getting ready to do a new one. This one's breaking the sound barriers of disease. We're in lots of videos, 30 some. And we haven't taken it to, okay, this is the way you deal with arthritis, this they deal with this. We'll be writing a textbook. Arthritis is very painful. You can't open jars. Your joints get distorted. Inflammation of the joints. One of the things we've been experimenting with is a little snapper zapper thing right on an arthritis nodule, and it's taking it away. Doesn't deal with sound, deals with an electromagnetic potential, which is a really important issue if you've listened to the last couple of classes we've done. There's over 100 different forms of arthritis. Gout is a form of arthritis, and it's becoming very, very prevalent with our very bad diet. We know the frequencies to take away the arthritis pain. Most of it joint pain. You will be allowed in these classes to purchase equipment with these things already built in. So lots of information. Let's go back one and put this link in, because there's much more than what I can tell you in an evening. Foods to eat, places to go. You know, there's a lot of doctors trying to deal with arthritis, and they're trying to shut them up and tell people don't take this medication. It's dangerous. We are a biofield. We have electrical potential in our body. Every time there's a nerve and it has a sheathing, around that sheathing is a magnetic potential that makes the electricity behave. Just like you're plugging a wall, the sheathing on there makes the electricity behave and go where it ought to be. And this is shape, the biofield, the biospheres. This is the Iceman, and he had these intricate designs, and they found out that it was to treat arthritic pain. So a shape, a sound, music, color, it's all the same thing in that it is interpreted as a frequency by the body, and we know how to interfere with those frequencies and help you get rid of inflammation. Gout is one of the oldest diseases recorded in medical history. It was an easy one for us to do because I had it. And it was the inability to break down proteins. A lot of people with A blood type have this, and it begins with swelling and redness. And boy, if somebody whispers across your toe, it hurts. And this is what gout looks like on your vocal print. This is when I sing to somebody's toe to get rid of the pain. This is what it looks like. This is where all this came from, my ability to create pure tones and relieve pain as analog sound, not digital, you see from a machine, but analog. So at first we created the analog software, and then it got put on the portal. The portal's much easier. The portal gives you much more information. You can have this right on your computer, but it gives you no answers. If you want the answers quick, now, immediate, and a printout, go to the portal, Sound Health Portal, sign up as a guest. Okay, we saw this before. Let's explore some of it. Yes, respiration at a cellular level can improve arthritis, and we know the frequencies to do that. You can also take the nano voice, which you can use right on the front of the portal, and you can look at things like calcium. This is 12 notes and it has 6 octaves. If you talk into this, it takes about 2 minutes, and you've got an issue here with D sharp and E, that's calcium. And calcium is one of the major issues the body cannot break down when there is a problem with arthritis. So we know these frequencies, we put them in a computer program. They come out looking like a frequency domain. See, that's could be zinc. That's one of the issues that's needed also for diabetes. So the nano voice can let you look at what people's purpose is. Now in this case with Obama, this is him talking about radiation won't hurt you. These dumb monkeys, idiots, I don't say it that way, dumb, these people think we're dumb and that we don't know what's really going on. When it has green like this, he's telling you radiation exposure is nothing. What they did was up the rate of safe. It's green. He did it for a purpose, and the purpose had a large tie to emotions. Blue, yellow is the thought, the facts. It wasn't for the facts. Go to Dr. Apsley, APSLEY.com, and look at the real papers and what they did. They're just thinking we're so dumb, we're going to be stupid and not know what is going on. We're going to look at these in terms of, just like you have full spectrum light, you have to have full spectrum sound. And when we do your vocal print, it gives you a printout. This person 252, and it gives you written words too. There's not a lot here. A 4 would be a lot. A 3, note of D, no, that's a 2. I don't see any 3s here. B, that's small circulation. That's all on these charts that you can download from our site, Sound Health Options. Also from the soundhealthportal.com. This is our catalog. The catalog has probably 200 tutorials on it. Wonderful tutorials, professionally done, about the portal. The ones for just Sound Health Options are professionally done too. We showed them up here a minute ago, and they teach you and share everything that's going to help you do a great job with this. It also explains the courses and how to get involved. I'll have to find out where I was. There's the catalog. So we have a 2-day technician course. That one's free unless you want to buy your materials and stuff to keep forever. On the 2-day, you either get your stuff for 30 days or a year, depending. There's biomarkers. There's a 5-day professional. And there's a master's class, what we call the professional class. There's another class here, a 2-day biomarkers. And if you sign up for the master's, you get all the rest of them for free. So we hope you join us. Here is some of the things that cause arthritis. Diet soda, it's aspartame. We did a whole study on this, so we could show how aspartame was poisoning people. Write to me and I'll send it to you. So if we decide to look at aspartame, this is aspartame right here. It's the note of D. It makes your pH totally unbalanced, so you're more susceptible to pathogens. So lack of respiration, and we can totally look at that. Nitric oxide, which you can get in this ground beet that Dr. Grundy is selling for like $90 for a little 2-ounce whatever. You can get it much cheaper on Amazon. Same stuff. Let me see how many ounces this one is. That was $60. One scoop, 3.7 grams. I have the hiccups. Let me take a drink. We think I get the hiccups when I'm talking because I'm trying to talk too fast, trying to get in too much information. I just don't breathe. So nitric oxide and nitric oxide synthase, it makes it work. What the nitric oxide does is act as a gas between your muscles and your exit system. So the nitric oxide synthase is the gas cell wall that gets rid of the trash. Also ornithine, citrulline, arginine, all of these are part of your Krebs cycle, and all of those can be looked at much more clearly from this address. It's heartfixer.com. It's under new treatments, and we also test for that when you come in and look at information. We begin to look at the inflammatory proteins. Those are all in the arthritis software. Prostaglandins are needed by the body, but they also cause inflammation. Prostaglandin, if you get a splinter in your finger, it's what festers it up and pushes the thorn out. Women need it to mature an egg and send it out through the fallopian tubes. So it's absolutely needed. Here's some more issues. Cholic acid. I don't know what that is by way of a frequency. Cholesterol is a G, pregnenolone is a D sharp, aldosterone, I forget, but it'll show you where the problem is, what you need to look at to back off the arthritis. In most cases, in the literature, it tells you it's a fault on calcium, the use of calcium. Well, you need boron, essential fatty acid, lysine, magnesium, manganese. You need all of these to make calcium work, and we've put all of these into the database. There it is again if you want to take a picture real quick. Cholic acid, you can buy that at your health food store. Here's what I already talked about with aspartame. That glutamate, cysteine, and glutathione are all part of this, and I will show you this whole network when we get over to the portal. The Krebs cycle is all of these things. Vitamin, pyruvic acid, amino acids, all come down here and join with coenzyme A and also with B5. Then it starts its cycle. And all of these things, one leads to the other, leads to the other, leads to the other. And the mitochondria, the fuel in the cell begins to burn, and it needs NAD, nicotinic adenosine diphosphate, a form of niacin. We can check that. Look at, I think it's oclosucinic or alpha ketoglutarate. One of these, when it goes haywire, and we explain this in our program about cancer. The first thing, the energy of the cell does not create enough energy to starve off the cancer. Katerina, which product are you asking about? The beet stuff? Dr. Gundry, Gundry. You can get it on Amazon. You can also use NO40, I think, is ground up beets, and that supplies the nitric oxide. Here is one of the forms that we use on the portal, and here is where it shows up, nitric oxide here, NOS here, and this is detox, how you use your energy, how you replete your DNA. This is actually expanded on the portal, and this is how you use methionine and glutathione. This is how the body detoxes and uses sulfur. ACHY, SAHH, all of these are about the use of sulfur. And sulfur helps the body starve off any pathogens that are going on. We've been using this idea for many years. Study finds link between GMOs and current healthcare crisis. We will provide this article to you. It shows you how all of this goes together and how it can be prevented with a little foreknowledge of what is going on. We look at your brain as the central processing unit. Everything comes to the brain to be sorted and assigned and routed and whatever. We have a way of interfering with that and sending signals in using your language. I don't know how it got developed zillions of years ago, but we found a way to tap into it. It's from the recurrent laryngeal nerve that runs through the laryngeal nerve straight to the brain, and this is what keeps your body in stasis, and this is what we can interfere with, and that's what we want to share with people. How to do that, what frequencies to use, what formulas to use, how to set up a center. We've added a whole bunch of marketing stuff. Okay, Steve, who's a great source, I ordered a bulk 1 pound organic non-GMO beet powder from FDC Nutrition. Yeah, one of these little ounce cups is like $60. Okay, and Steve put it in there. Where to get it? The chat default says to all panelists, please everyone go to drop down. I don't know if you can see this or not, but go to the drop down. There's 3 little dots and say all panelists and attendees so everybody can see what we are doing. Okay, lots and lots of information there. Probably your head is swimming at this point. Does anyone have arthritis? Do they want to volunteer to be our guinea pig for this evening? Joan, do you have arthritis? I seem to remember that you do. I will have to allow you to talk. Okay, Joan? Well, now I've lost you. Anybody else want to raise their hand? Nobody? Somebody's raising their hand here.
Barry, can you hear me?
Yes, who is this? Joan?
This is Joan. I do not have arthritis.
Okay, sorry, wrong memory.
I've got lots of other problems, but that's not one.
Katarina, you have your hand up? Do you have arthritis? I turned on your mic.
Can I talk?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so actually I'm 32 now, but I had bouts of it and I used to dance, so I occasionally have pain in my knees,
Okay, let's...
shoulders. I think that qualifies, right?
Yes, let's take your vocal brand. I'm going to use Audacity, and this instructions is in the booklet that I showed you that you can download from Class Prep on Sound Health Options. So Rachel's going to be our guinea pig. This is the timer. We're going to hit the red button. She's going to talk 30 seconds. And if she can't think of anything to say, just describe your living room or something. Okay, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Go.
All right. So I was very athletic growing up, and I can attest to aspartame because I used to drink it a lot when I was in school, and I'd run and I'd drink Diet Sprite or Diet Coke, and I was starting to lose feeling in my pinky. So when I would sit at a computer, my pinky would go numb, and then sometimes when I dance, um, I'd have to take chondroitin or some other supplement just to keep going. And then the next day I couldn't move very well, and then it would take me a couple days to get back in shape. So
Okay,
that's my experience.
we've got it at 41 seconds. That's great. This was me moving the mic because she wasn't loud enough, so I'm going to delete that with a little pair of scissors. And I'm not going to save it. I'm going to export the WAV file in Waves 2020. Rachel? Then online. ARTH, that'll tell us it was about arthritis. Save, there's pictures, everything that'll help you save this. And we can go in and listen to it.
Aspartame because I used to drink it a lot when I was.
So if there's a dog bark or something, we can chop it out. Now we're going to go to the evaluation. I think, Rachel, don't we have you in here already? Well, let's see. Let's just hit new. GNS. Oh, I didn't sign in. Everybody who signs in and has a subscription, they get a cache, a CICHE of all their clients, and they can look at them from all different directions. Okay, this is not the person we want. All the instructions for this is in the portal, and a lot of it is in a booklet that we just started. So we don't want to look at this again. We want to look at Rachel.
Sherry, I think there. So my name is Ekaterina. So I don't know if that
Your name
matters
is what?
for the Ekaterina, or for the purpose of the sample.
Okay, what are you telling me? I've lost. Aren't you Rachel?
I'm not Rachel.
I thought that's who I was talking to.
No, it's Ekaterina.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think we have you in here. We made from a class. We don't, so we will have to make a new one. You can fake your birthday if you want, but this is for the purposes if somebody calls and says, I need to know who had measles in Utah, then we can pull that out of the database.
Yep.
So what's your birthday?
August 3rd, 87.
And your region?
Washington, D.C.
Like to talk to you about that?
Yep. Definitely strange things happening here.
I'm seeing it on the news. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, well, there's so many layers to it, and you can feel it in the air. Sometimes the tension is overwhelming. I just have to go to a park and cool myself down.
Well, I have no answers. Just, it's something that you would read out of a comic book when I was little, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And it's just, it's a fantasy. So I'm going to shut up about it. So we do have arthritis here, but sometimes this messes it up. But if we do click here, the computer will help us choose what we need. So I'm going to save and continue. And for, this is biomarkers, and this is a wonderful part of this. We have to bring in her file. That's not it. Desktop. Didn't we choose Waves 2020? So this is really you, and I need to change the name.
The end is at the end it's A, but it doesn't matter. That works too.
Is that good?
Yep, that works.
Okay. Okay, and we can look at, this is to make formulas, a new part of what we're doing. But we can look at arthritis here, and it'll look through all of our databases and tell us, does she have issues with anything more than arthritis, but associated with arthritis? And look, it's not even there. I lied. How about inflammation? Because most of arthritis is inflammation. So it will give us a summary at the bottom. Well, that's the other piece. So at 2%, 11% conjunctivitis eye stuff. 1-3. This doesn't tell us a lot, but it gives us a little cluster right here to look at. That's onions. I don't know what that's. Vanillic acid. So we have to have some explanation of how to use this, and it's just not coming up right here. But there is a summary. How you use your energy. 11, eye pollution. 10, Lewy proteins. We need to look at that. That's environmental pollutants to the brain. Fibromyalgia, 4%. So it's telling us the air is really polluted. And there's Lewy proteins. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that because I want to look at something else. We brought in her online. Let's save and continue. We want a new evaluation. These are all step by step in the tutorials in the book. Now, the blue line is a norm. Everything below is too little. There's not enough of it. -1, -2. Here's a -2. That's a worst of the worst. This is low. But you can also say, pull the points. I don't want to take time to do that. This hump, that's inflammation. It's not a pathogenic inflammation because it'd be little teeny increments. This is inflammation. And it repeats itself 3 times. That's usually an organ. If it's 4, it's a joint. But notice nothing was picked up here. If we had picked pathogen, maybe it would have come up. And so I want to say I want that one. I want that one. And you can say update it all. Templates, we want to say arthritis. What else? Since it's inflammation, let's do that. COX is inflammation. Biochemically, we could do arthritis. ARTHRITIS. We could do mobility. I think you can have to up to 10, but this organizes it for you in order. This is the number of hits. This is a bundle, so don't pay attention. This is a bundle. So your first one is Super Brain. 123.50 is about the cutoff. Ultimate Diet. I don't see arthritis in here, but let's go with it anyway. Inflammation, 43. That's your major issue, not arthritis. It's a 34. Inflammation is your number one that you want to choose, not a bunch of cocks, not hives, allergies. So inflammation is going to make it easiest for us. That's where we want to go. The next thing is to go up here to this little computer, and we could have chose all 4 of those, but it just confuses people sometimes. When you click this open, it has all this turquoise around it. Those 2 things are related, or maybe 3 or 4. But, okay, save and continue. I continually forget. I told you there was a cycle here, and you can run people through the Krebs cycle. And it has a better map. The map we showed just was from here over. If you use this map, then you can mark it for your client and you know exactly where to start. Krebs cycle, energy, DNA, and so forth. A lot of built-in nice references. So you can this gives you a report. Now 3 is not much, and you can bind it and send it right to your client, and it gives you a ranking of what your person should be doing. So let's go to page 2, and it'll start giving us a rank where we need to start. Number 1, elastin isoform B. So elastin fibers, it's more connective tissue than it is arthritis. And sulfur is one of the major connective tissue issues, and methionine really messes that up. You can see what happens down here at the bottom. This is where your sulfur gets messed up, and there's the glutathione that aspartame would mess up. This is an inborn error, and we can fix that. But there's also a couple biochemical errors, SAHH and ACHY. Both of these would need to be looked at. You can go round all this and look at dimethylglycine. You can buy that at your health food store, and usually if you have a problem here, taking the dimethylglycine will skip you over this problem. That's the kind of thing that you learn in the extended class. What to send your client, how to interpret it. Okay, it's telling us glucosamine sulfate, and she said she was taking chondroitin. Chondroitin is a smaller molecule of glucosamine, but it's also made from shells, and a lot of people are allergic to it. You can tell if you're allergic, you'll get bags under your eyes and they'll fill with water. But glucosamine is just a larger molecule, the same thing. There's your elastin. I can't believe I took that off right before we went off the air. I went in here and took all this off, and there it is on again. I'm going to have to check it a 3rd time. We're not allowed to give frequencies out over public, and so I'll have to cut that out of the... Okay, so here it is back without the frequencies on it, and anything in yellow is a number 1 priority. So all this elastin is too high. It's not being utilized, probably causing inflammation. So we need to give you frequencies for that, or get you some glucosamine sulfate that's probably, well, there's the chondroitin that's high. we'd have to do some sleuthing and go see what would help this. And found for this gene, elastin's precursor to topolastin. Ooh, I think is that something to do with the heart? I don't know. But a lot about this class that I love is the sleuthing. You know, you can get the numbers pretty quick, but in order to tell somebody what the numbers mean, then you have to go digging. Molecules bind with cross-linked protein elastin, prevalent in the body. Yours is too high and probably not being used. We would have to do tone trials on you to see, is it not being used or is it just too high for some biochemical kink of what is going on. Secondary here is the green. 28 and 24, I would not keep the 22s. If it was a 26, I would, because that's too close. This is a secondary issue. Primary, secondary, and then the orange is tertiary. Vitamin D too high, you need to go back and see what makes vitamin D work. And we have a pastel folder that goes with your chart. Assimilation chart. Let's see if I can get it to come up. Well, it's in the pastel folder. I can open it that way. And this all comes with your class. So the pastel folder comes with these charts that you can use to counsel your client. So we look at vitamins, we look at vitamin D, we see what makes vitamin D work. Must be taken with calcium and phosphorus and vitamin A. So you may not have enough of these to allow the vitamin D to work. I bet you guys didn't see that green sheet, did you? Share screen, go to green, share again. So this green sheet tells you, okay, here's vitamin D, here's what it needs. And when you see something like vitamin D high in the winter, probably not true. Probably doesn't have its sister component parts to make it work. So we'll be on the lookout for vitamin A and calcium. You can also go back in, let's share again. Back in and do some of this with nutrients. See what nutrients are needed. Pancreatin low may reduce the inflammation, but it needs to be higher. But you can click on this, anything that's underlined, and see what's going on. You can buy this in the health food store too. Chemokine, that's an inflammatory and it's high. So we would give you frequencies to pull down and render this gene inert. And we've been able to do that even with kids that had Down syndrome. B6 high, not likely. B6 is water soluble, and it's likely that that's the frequency of something else. But it's only the 16, so don't worry about it. You can go back and cross-reference these again and again to see what you might want to look at. We can go look at another template here, see what comes up. If we do inflammation and connective tissue, you can also run just 1, 2, or 3 lists. 43 here and only 17 here. So yes, we could look at it and it would cross-reference for us. And again, we look at the yellow first. Still elastin. We need to go do some digging, see where this elastin comes from, what it's made of, might go into repair and see what's happening. But this elastin is coming up as something that's epigenetic. The body's making it happen. We need to turn it off. Hyaluronic acid high, if it's not working, you'll get very creaky joints. Your eyes will get a swollen eyeball. So we need to get that up and running too. 28 and 24.
Yes, what you just said about hyaluronic acid. Yeah, everything's just creaky, and my ankle has been clicking since I was 15, and I tried ballet, and so like everything's just, I feel like, falling apart or mutating, and I need to keep together, basically.
We could just go into repair and look at this. I love the predictive part of this because it helps you see what's going to happen. And if you got creaky and stuff in your ankles, we'll start with the bones. We'll look at the ankle muscles. We have something called, its last word is complex. Is it muscle complex? That tells you all about the biochemistry of the genes, the muscles, and everything else. That'll give you a deep look of what's causing the creakiness. But you have nothing here. That is weird. Templates. Oh, I didn't choose it. Templates, okay. Sure enough, there's nothing there. But this is where you keep digging, and one of the things about the portal will give you the direction, where if you're doing this by hand, which is the easiest way for you to learn to do it, but also by what do you push, but also the hardest because you have to do all the interpretation. So in your case, I would go to repair, and that would tell me where to go because that has connective tissue, muscle complex, bones, everything. I bet you have a high score in repair. 106. Wow. When all else fails, go to repair and it just throws everything at you. 34 again, lymphostatic vessel hyaluronic receptor. So the hyaluronic is in there, it's not being used. And associated with titin as a muscle recovery protein. I would have to look that up. This is what the protein does that you have in stress, or one of them. So you could write a book about each person that you see because it takes you in so many different directions. Here we need to get the elastin and the laminin. We need to get the joints working. And so that's the report that we would send back to her with all this information. I'd call her in and say we need to do some tone trials to make absolutely sure this is where we're going. Any questions there? I have lost my chat. Let me find the chat again. Stop share. Grab the chat. I'm learning more and more about this all the time. So we have time for maybe a couple of questions. Jumping on a rebounder daily supports the lymph, but I have a broken back. Broken in 3 places, Mary, from falling off a 2-story building, a roof. I can't get on a rebounder. The cushioning, the pressure from a broken back, it just won't allow it. So I have to find some other way. Shortcut to, oh, thank you, Steve. Steve is put in the chat a shortcut to the green sheet because he takes everything we put out and he puts it in this little grouping, so it makes it very easy for all of you to go find the good stuff
Sherry,
Yes.
I wanted to ask about uh, how would you classify if the spinal discs are getting fused? I think it's not sclerosis,
Anguli-
arthro.
ankylosing spondylitis.
Mm,
I,
there's a word for it.
I'd go look
I'll
at
try
your,
to think of it.
yeah, I'd go
Um,
look at your calcium.
but it is like a type of arthritis issue or arthritis related because
Mm-hmm.
it is the same process, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a way now through a special elite program that will show you the one or two harmonics you need for everything going on at once. So we would use that on you, find it, and find the formulas from there. But it's an advanced thing. I'll try to take your thing and look it up and send it to you.
Thank you.
Next class, probably Sunday, or we're going to either do these advanced classes on Wednesday night in 2-hour increments or on a Saturday. Do you guys have a preference? Wednesday night or Saturday? Nobody has a preference. Okay, one new Wednesday, Yana says. Saturday, Jane says. Yana says. Saturday, Wednesday night. Well, maybe I don't know if we can record these. There's too much proprietary information in them. I will see what we can do. Okay, check out Steve's tiny URL. If you have any questions, SherryEdwards@gmail. I try to answer email every day, and if I don't answer you, it means I skipped it, I didn't see it. Operator error. Okay, thank you for being here. If you have any suggestions about what kind of classes you'd like to see expanded, let us know. We want to help you set up your local center, because I think it's the only medicine we're going to get. We had an emergency guy last night, and it was a relative. My granddaughter called me and said her husband's foot was swelled up like a football, and he told him it was a bone spur and go home. He didn't get any care. She called me. I listened to his voice. I said, it's gout. Sure enough, we put on the sound. It was gout. What do you call that when the emergency room won't see you when your foot swelled up like a football? What if it's a heart attack? A way to get the slides. Bob, which Bob is it? So I'll know where to send it. Do I have your email, Bob? Send it to SherryEdwards@gmail so I can send it on to you. Lots of new names here. That's great. All right, we're going to sign off. If you want to grab the chat, Control A, Control C, then you can lay it down on a Word document and save the chat. At least save the links in there, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by.